What's good, YouTube fam? I'm coming at y'all with a quick tutorial. It was a request by JDog54full. It was a request to show or demonstrate how to put on sterile gloves. So mind you guys, I don't have a actual package of prepackaged sterile gloves to demonstrate, but I made something up and it looks exactly like it would look if it was actual real prepackaged sterile gloves. So anyways, they would come in a package similar to this. There will be an outer package that you would want to rip open, but the inner package would look just like this. It would say cuff end on it, and that's the end that you want to have facing yourself. Inside, you know, your gloves will be there. So don't mind the ghetto-ness. Just the technique is right, but the ghetto-ness is just the packaging is, you know, it's a little hood, but that's okay. So the first thing you want to do is you want to perform hand hygiene. You know, usually when you go into an agency or going into a patient's room, they'll have some hand sanitizer either in the room or right outside the room. You want to perform hand hygiene, and you're going to rub the hand sanitizer, you know, in until it's completely evaporated. While you're doing this, you could be introducing yourself, you know, hey, I'm a student nurse, my name's so and so, I'm going to be performing this or that procedure. You want to check the patient's ID badge, make sure you're doing the right procedure to the right patient. And you want to find, after you've done that and you've rubbed your hand sanitizer in, it's completely gone, you're going to find your working station that's above waist level, because anything below waist level is considered possibly contaminated. And that's because bacteria and organisms, they settle. So if I were to, you know, my working level or my working station was below waist level, everything, it doesn't matter if I've set up the sterile field completely, it's all contaminated. It needs to be tossed out and redone on on a working station that's above waist level. If I were to take my hands and put them below waist level, they're considered contaminated, and I would have to take my gloves off the proper way and redo my gloves. So that's that. So anyway, let's get started. So I've opened up my prepackaged gloves, sterile gloves, and I'm going to place my package down on my sterile field table. This says cuff end facing me. I'm going to open the inner folds like such, and then like such. And then your gloves will have these like little tabby things, and you're going to reach in and you're just going to kind of like pull them out really nicely, right? It's like that. Now, if you notice, the gloves are cuffed. In actual package sterile gloves, they will have a cuff in them, and you'll see why. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my non-dominant hand, which will be my left because I'm right-handed, and I'm going to pick up my glove for my right hand by only touching the cuff, which would be, you know, the inside. So the cuff. I'm going to slip my right hand, dominant hand, in the glove, and I'm going to just kind of maneuver my hand in there, and you only want to touch the outer cuff. You don't want to touch the inside of the glove at all, right? So now that I've got the glove on, you notice there's still a cuff in it. I'm going to leave it that way for right now. Next, I'm going to take my sterile glove, and then I'm going to, because it's sterile, I no longer want to touch the cuff part because that's considered contaminated. I'm going to actually touch the inside of the glove. And let me turn it a little bit so you guys can see. I'm going to slide my sterile glove fingers under the cuff and pick up my sterile glove. Now I'm going to, with my thumb out, I'm going to slide my non-dominant hand inside the glove. Okay? And then I'm going to completely pull the glove all the way down, only touching the outside of the glove. Next, now that I've got two sterile gloved hands, I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to slip my fingers up under that cuff that I left there, and I'm just going to slowly adjust my glove that I kind of left cuffed down. And I'm just adjusting, but I'm only touching the very outside. You don't want to touch the inside, that's considered contaminated. And you don't want to touch your skin or your watch or anything like that. And that is how you put on sterile gloves. Now, I've done my procedure. My gloves are now contaminated, and although they don't look contaminated, I'll show you what under a microscope, a prime example of what organisms will look like. So say for instance, these are all microorganisms. I've done whatever, cleaned a wound or something like that, or irrigated a wound. This is all that gunk on my hands. You see that? You don't want to touch anything. Of course, you see this dirty, you're not going to want to touch anything. So this is just a visual just to show you what your hands could possibly look like, or what how much bacteria could possibly be on your hands. So to take my gloves off, I'm going to take my dominant hand, which is my right. I'm going to pinch the cuff, but the outside of my glove from my non-dominant hand, which is my left, and I'm going to pull it in. I'm going to pull her inside out, leaving all the bacteria inside. And then I'm going to grab it. I'm going to fist it, right? Next, I'm going to, because I've got all that gunk on the outside of this, I don't want to touch the outside. My hand is now, it's ungloved. I definitely don't want to touch somebody's bodily fluids. I'm going to take my fingers and slide them under the cuff, like that. And I'm just going to pull it above and turn that glove inside out. So now I've got one glove inside of the other. And there you go. That's how you put on. And I'm going to toss this in the right recycling bin, or I mean the right container. And now, I performed my procedures. I didn't cross-contaminate anything. And that's how you put on and remove sterile gloves. Like I said, you guys don't mind to get on this. I promise you that this is how they are packaged. They're packaged just like that. That's how you would open them. There is a DVD that I want to show you guys. It's excellent. I mean, this is how I learned my skills. This is the Taylor's video guide to clinical skills. It comes with a book, Fundamentals of Nursing, which is my Fundamentals of Nursing book for clinicals. It also comes with this guide, this little small handbook with clinical skills. These DVDs are awesome. They show you every single, pretty much, yeah, every skill that nurses do, step-by-step procedures, why, with rationales on this video. And it's like, it's real life. Like, you're really seeing the procedures being done. Great video. And this book, which I've got it open to, as you can see, putting on sterile gloves, will tell you step by step how to put on sterile gloves, what to do, check ID badge, perform hand hygiene, and then on the side, the rationales for why you're doing that. How I explain to you why you never want to put your hands below waist working level, because they're contaminated, because bacteria settles. So these two things are, for me, essential for my nursing clinicals, the actual skills that I'm doing. They are awesome. They help me. I don't have to wait until I get to lab to learn how to do something. I can watch these procedures at home, read them, read the rationales. This has quizzes on them and tests on them. I can take them, make sure I understand, because a lot of times, if you're tested on how to perform, how to do asepsis, well, there's a whole DVD on asepsis and putting on sterile gloves and creating a sterile field. Plus, there's a quiz in the end. There's a test, an online quiz and online test. Those are some of the same questions that'll be on your actual quizzes and tests with some of the procedures that, with the procedures that you do. So I hope that helps. I hope I was able to explain that and show, how to do that properly. Oh yeah, after I've done that, I've discarded my gloves. You definitely want to perform hand hygiene again before walking out the door. But yeah, I just wanted to show you those two items that I use that are just awesome. Like, I'm telling you, that's really helped me a lot as far as clinicals go. So as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.